Eileen Jiu triumphs with historic gold amid personal loss at Winter Olympics. China's Eileen Jiu made history as the most decorated freestyle skier in the Winter Olympics after winning gold in the halfpipe. Shortly after, she found out that her grandmother had died. The 22-year-old Jiu won her sixth medal, keeping the title she won when she took home 3 medals at the Beijing Games 4 years ago. No other free skier, man or woman, has won as many medals as Jiu. She is the only woman who has competed in all the park and pipe events at the Olympics. She won gold in the halfpipe after it was postponed for 24 hours because of heavy snow, and she also won silver medals in Big A and slopestyle. Speaking to the press after her halfpipe win, Jiu said she had last spoken to her grandmother before the Olympics. "She was a really big part of my life growing up, and someone I looked up to immensely. She was a fighter," Jiu said. Eileen Jiu's triumph. Historic gold amid personal loss at the Winter Olympics. The Olympic Games are often described as the ultimate stage of human achievement, a place where the strongest bodies, sharpest minds, and bravest spirits meet in pursuit of greatness. But behind the glittering medals and roaring crowds, there are stories of sacrifice, heartbreak, and resilience that reveal the true humanity of athletes. Few moments in recent Olympic history capture this truth more powerfully than the story of freestyle skiing sensation Eileen Jiu at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina. In a single day, Jiu experienced 2 extremes of human emotion: the euphoric triumph of winning an Olympic gold medal and the crushing sorrow of losing someone she loved dearly. Her story became more than just a sporting victory. It became a testament to courage, dedication, and the deep connections that shape our lives. A star forged in snow. Eileen Jiu, born in San Francisco in 2003, grew up balancing 2 cultures and 2 identities. Raised by her Chinese mother and her grandmother, she spent her childhood between California and Beijing. This unique upbringing shaped her worldview and eventually led her to represent China in international competitions starting in 2019. From an early age, Jiu displayed extraordinary talent. Skiing down snowy slopes with fearless energy, she quickly rose through the ranks of freestyle skiing. By the time she was a teenager, she was already making history. At the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, she stunned the world by winning 2 gold medals and 1 silver, becoming the youngest Olympic champion in freestyle skiing and the first athlete to win 3 freestyle skiing medals at a single Games. But success only fueled her ambition. 4 years later, she arrived at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy not just as a talented young skier, but as one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. Expectations were enormous. Fans, critics, and the media watched her every move. Could she repeat her historic achievements? Jiu answered that question the only way she knew how, by letting her skiing speak. The run that made history. The final of the women's freeski halfpipe at the Milano Cortina Games was electrifying. Snow glistened under the winter sun, and spectators held their breath as athletes launched themselves into the icy air, twisting and spinning in gravity-defying tricks. When Eileen Jiu stepped onto the slope for her final run, she carried not only the hopes of her fans but also the weight of her own ambitions. Her performance was breathtaking. She soared high above the halfpipe, executing flawless tricks with precision and style. The crowd erupted as she landed each move cleanly, her skis carving smoothly into the snow. When the judges posted the score, 94.75 points, it was clear that Jiu had secured the gold medal. The victory meant more than just another medal. With this win, Jiu became the most decorated freestyle skier in Olympic history, with a total of 6 medals across 2 Olympic Games. It was a historic moment. On the podium, she smiled brightly as the gold medal hung around her neck. The world saw a champion celebrating the culmination of years of dedication, discipline, and relentless training. But behind that smile, another story was unfolding. News that changed everything. Shortly after her victory, Jiu was noticeably late to her press conference. When she finally arrived, Her expression had changed. The confident champion who had dazzled the world minutes earlier appeared emotional and shaken. Then she revealed the reason. Moments after her gold medal performance, Jiyu had learned that her beloved grandmother, Feng Guozhen, had passed away. The news struck like a sudden storm. Her grandmother had been a central figure in her life, someone who had helped raise her and inspire her ambitions. Growing up, Jiyu spent countless hours with her grandmother, absorbing lessons about strength, determination, and courage. "She was a really big part of my life," Jiyu said through tears. "Someone I looked up to immensely." The timing made the moment almost surreal. Within the span of an hour, Jiyu had experienced the highest peak of victory and the deepest valley of grief. Yet even in her sadness, she found meaning in the moment. A promise of courage. Before leaving for the Olympics, Jiyu had visited her grandmother, who had been seriously ill. She knew the possibility of losing her was real. During that visit, she made a promise, not that she would win, but that she would be brave. Her grandmother had always embodied courage. Jiyu once described her as someone who lived life like a steamship, powering forward through every challenge. That promise stayed with her throughout the games. When she stood atop the halfpipe, preparing for the most important run of the competition, she remembered those words. Instead of playing it safe, she chose to push herself, taking risks and trusting her abilities. In many ways, that boldness defined her performance. It was not just a technical display of skiing mastery, it was an expression of the fearless spirit her grandmother had taught her. Winning the gold medal felt like fulfilling that promise. "I didn't promise her I would win," Jiyu said later, "but I promised I would be brave." Triumphantez. As the reality of both events sank in, Gu's emotions became impossible to hide. During the press conference, she broke down in tears while speaking about her grandmother's influence. Athletes are often expected to appear invincible, strong, composed, and unshakable. But Gu's vulnerability reminded the world that behind every champion is a human being with deep relationships and emotions. Her story resonated far beyond the world of sports. Fans around the globe shared messages of support, moved by the bittersweet nature of her victory. Social media filled with tributes, not only celebrating her historic achievement, but also honoring the bond she shared with her grandmother. It was a moment that transcended competition. More than an athlete, Eileen Gu's story is remarkable not only because of her athletic achievements, but also because of who she is beyond the slopes.